Serious question, guys. Are we doomed?
The fear of recession is mounting in the United States.
Where do you peg the probability of a recession?
Right now, it's, let's say by year end, I'd say about 50-50. It's pretty close.
Now, if you're sitting there thinking, what is going on? What is a recession? Well, to keep it really simple, a recession is a macroeconomic term that refers to a significant decline in general economic activity in a designated region. It generally does lead to a loss of jobs and a shrinking of economies. So, how can designers like you and me prepare and survive a recession? We're going to cover 6 key areas: mindset, security, upskilling, investing, diversifying, and at the end, what do I do if I lose my job? I have a very quick challenge for you. I want you to close your eyes. Don't worry, nothing creepy. I want you to take a deep breath in, hold for 3 seconds, then let it out over 4. You can do this 3 to 4 times and it does wondrous things. It's called box breathing, which is a tactic Navy SEALs use to calm themselves and to reset during intense moments.
First, it's important, for people to appreciate that this is just breathing, but it's taking deliberate control over our breathings for the purpose of refining our nervous system, our automatic nervous system, so that we can trigger the parasympathetic nervous system and bleed off excess stress and maintain control.
Now, the idea of recessions can be daunting and scary, but in reality, it's just a part of life. There has been 11 recessions in the last 50 years. It's something beyond our control. So instead of letting our emotions get ahead of us, we need to be logical and rational. Focusing on things you don't have control over adds no value to you. It actually hinders your ability to perform, which in most cases does more harm than good. As Stephen Richards says, the only time you fail is when you fall and stay down. Instead, we should focus our energy on things we can control, which leads me onto the next point. The first thing that you can do is to do your best to secure your current position. You may be an in-house designer, a freelancer, a business owner, or even a design student. Your goal is to do what you do now, but top it up a notch by 50 to 100%. Think about how are you currently performing in all these areas. And then think about 3 tasks that you can do right now to move it from where it is right now to a 10 out of 10. Your goal is to be relevant and to be in demand. So always focus on over-delivering. We should always be upskilling and growing. And to do so, you have to think about how can you increase the delta between you and other designers so you can stay competitive and relevant. Now, you can either grow horizontally or you can grow vertically. Depending on your unique situation, you will need to decide whether it's better to either deepen or broaden your existing understanding and experiences as a product designer. Now, there is no right or wrong way because product design really does favor those who can do a lot, such as run workshops, analyze data, user research, and UI design. But it doesn't make sense if you are doing a lot but at a very low quality. So instead, the best way to think about this is, if you are struggling to land a job, find clients, or find any sort of validation for your work, go vertical and deepen your understanding. Don't try to jump around, just do one thing well enough that someone wants it. Now, if you have a job, you've currently got clients, and you do have some sort of validation for your work, go horizontal and start broadening your understanding. So if you haven't run a workshop before, try run one. If you haven't used data to make informed decisions, start using data. Learn about Google Analytics, Hotjar, or even Full Story. Money is useless if it's not working for you. Inflation alone eats away at its value every single year. Now, I'm no financial advisor, but the one thing that has done very well for me has been investing my money over time. Now, 4 types of investments that I have in place right now is that I live far below my means, meaning I spend far less than I actually pay myself. I also invest in healthy businesses on the stock market. I utilize an app called Interactive Brokers, and I look for companies with low PE ratios, lower cost of operation, lower operational drag. They also have consistent revenue growth of around 20% and sometimes even higher for more riskier companies. I also invest in real estate. Now, I look for 4 to 5% annual yields, historically consistent growth, blue chip, and also regional areas. Now, most importantly, I invest in myself. I don't really hold back when it comes to buying books or buying courses. Our mind is the one thing that unlocks all opportunities in life. That is why it is so important to feed our minds with the best food, metaphorically and literally speaking. Now, diversifying strategically. I have around 10 different streams of income, and it's not a flex. I just want to be transparent and honest with you so you can learn from the things that have worked and also things that have failed on me so you don't have to go through the struggles that I did. Now, when we all start out, we will trade our time for money, and it looks a little something like this. We first enter the industry with a full-time job. We trade our time for money. As we start to build experience and knowledge, we start to scale out our operation and we start freelancing. So when we're dealing with multiple clients, selling our time. Once you've got a little bit more experience, you then might even build out a team and you start to profit on the margins of your team. And then after that, you start to think about scalability, bigger opportunities. So then you start to productize your services or your knowledge, such as building a SaaS product, subscription as a service, or you might even start selling courses. These are different opportunities that you can go down over time. So if any one of these income streams falls, we always have other streams that can help. Now, it is important to understand that there is a time and place when you should start building multiple income streams. If you are new to the industry, I would highly recommend you to focus on just building domain knowledge and experience first. Why? Opportunity cost. The time you spend distracting yourself away from learning means you're not making the biggest return on your investment. If you spend the first couple of years in just learning, absorbing as much as you can, then you decide to diversify your income streams, the results you will produce will be disproportionate to whatever you would have made as a rookie, simply from the extra value and experience that you can share. Just to let you know and to reassure you, product design is one of the most highly demanded skill sets in the tech industry. Yes, I know the tech industry has been hit significantly with roughly a 26 to 27% drop from its all-time high on the NASDAQ 100, and we've seen major layoffs as well. However, there is always a silver lining in every event in life. On the brighter side, there are a lot of companies out there looking for great talent right now. Just because some organizations are over-leveraged or had funding seized, it does not mean that every company is the same. There are many companies out there with a very healthy financial position and have been growing slowly and steadily and are ready to hire right now. In just last week, I had multiple friends ask me if I know of any great designers because they are hiring. So if you've lost your job, it's not the end, instead the start to something new. So have a think about it. Is it time to upskill? Is it time to maybe give that business that you've always wanted to start a crack? Some of the biggest companies in the world started in recessions like Microsoft and Airbnb, and the list goes on. Now, if you've been in the industry for a while and you've lost your job, is it time to refine your skill set, reignite a passion, polish up your portfolio, and maybe apply for a new role that better suits you? In the end, it's really up to you on how you perceive these events. But just remember, before you make any decisions, before you jump into anything, it's important to look after your mental health first. Make sure during these tough times, when your mind is racing, box breathe, stay mindful, gain control of your thoughts, be smart with your decisions, and I'm sure great things will happen. Now, let me know in the comments below, what are your thoughts on the current economic situation? What are your plans? What do you plan on doing as a designer? And I will see you guys in another video very soon.